I bought this broken M2 MacBook Pro for $60 on Facebook Marketplace, and today we're gonna fix it. This Mac's display doesn't light up, but it takes a charge and outputs to an external monitor. I bought a used MacBook housing on eBay with a plan to swap the motherboard from the Facebook Marketplace laptop into the housing, but that didn't go exactly as planned. I'll start by unscrewing the battery press connector, then I'll move on to unscrewing the cowling for the touch bar and USB-C connectors. Once I unscrew the cowling, I can unplug the connectors underneath, then I'll do the same for every other connector on the motherboard. Once everything is disconnected, I can go ahead and unscrew the motherboard to remove it from the case. Is what I would have said had it not been for this tiny hex nut screw. The toolkit I own does not have a bit for this screw, and after waiting 2 weeks just to realize I ordered the wrong size driver, I opted to treat myself to a new toy. After indulging in retail therapy, I used my new hex nut driver to unscrew the last screws holding in the motherboard and removed it from the chassis. Then I unboxed the replacement chassis I bought from eBay and removed the back cover. Next, I'll remove the right speaker and audio board so that I can remove the Touch ID sensor that came with the replacement chassis and swap in the old Touch ID sensor. I need to swap these buttons since each Touch ID sensor is paired with its associated motherboard and will lose functionality if it is used with a different motherboard, even if it's a genuine Apple part. Another courageous move by Apple. Anyways, now that this Mac is reassembled, I can plug in the charger to test the display, but nothing happens. I double check every connector and realize that the laptop only powers on when the trackpad cable is not plugged into the motherboard. This means the built-in keyboard also doesn't work, and I can't use an external keyboard unless I unlock the Mac, which I can't do without the built-in keyboard. But at least I was able to confirm that the new screen was working. At this point, I'm pretty annoyed because I realize I have to basically undo everything I just did. I need to move the old motherboard into its original housing, then I'll extract the working screen from the replacement housing and replace the broken screen with it. Once that's done, all I have to do is plug in the LCD connector to the motherboard and cross my fingers while I power the laptop on. And thankfully, this time the laptop powers on and the keyboard and trackpad work. However, I still have to swap the original Touch ID button into its old housing before Touch ID is functional. After undoing the last 2 hours of my work, I can screw on the back panel and finish the display replacement in Repair Assistant. And finally, after all of that, we now have a fully functional M2 MacBook Pro.